From the campus of Marist College, we've got a MAC Women's Lacrosse Wednesday matinee. Red Foxes search for their first conference win on home turf as they welcome the Canisius Golden Griffins. Alongside former Marist player and coach Haley Wagner, I'm Brandon Ross. Canisius enters 9-4 overall, 4-2 in conference play. The Golden Griffins could use this game as a boost to their standing in the conference.
They sure can, and they're coming off a really exciting, thrilling victory against Quinnipiac this past weekend in overtime, so they're definitely going to come out with some energy today.
And they're going to need a lot of scoring to do that. One player that's done it very well for them is Paige Stachura, tied for third in the MAC with goals and has gotten at least one in every game this season.
Yes, Stachura has been a huge force on their offensive end for the Canisius Griffins, but she's also been a huge threat on the draw control circle as well with 41 draws. She ended last game with 5 draws and 2 goals, and she's definitely going to be producing today for them.
Add to that the team lead in ground balls and caused turnovers. She's tied for third in the MAC in goals with Carrie Gutenberger. She's not available, so captain Kelly Trott is going to have to be one of the Red Fox players that steps up, coming off a career-high 5-point performance against Monmouth.
Definitely. Kelly Trott has been a huge offensive threat, and despite having Carrie Gutenberger out, we're definitely going to see a lot from Trotta stepping up for this Marist offense. Coming off that 5-point career-high performance this past weekend, I think we have a lot in store from her in this game.
Anthem's been played, and we are just about ready to roll from here at Teddy Stadium in Poughkeepsie. Getting a look at this Canisius team on the road and the Marist squad in the home whites. One big change that this Marist team is playing, we've already mentioned the absence of top scorer Carrie Gutenberger. She is out, got banged up in that Niagara game. But a change at goalkeeper, it has been entirely Chloe Monroe and Gabrielle Orlando, a pair of seniors exchanging time between the pipes. But for today, the sophomore from Mahopac, New York, Miranda Lopes, making her college debut in net.
Yeah, it's definitely something exciting to see Miranda Lopes getting her first college career start. From what I understand after talking with head coach Jessica Wilkinson, it's been a tight race with the goalie situation, particularly between the two seniors, but Miranda Lopes has been right up there competing every day at practice. So looking to see how she comes out and handles her first career start.
Getting the nod in the final home game of 2022. And you saw a moment ago in that Canisius huddle, right on the outside of it, freshman Haley Rooney, who's listed as a midfielder and a goalkeeper, getting her second straight start in net.
Yeah, it's definitely something exciting to see, something interesting to see on a roster to split a position between midfield and goalie, two complete different ends of the spectrum. But Haley Rooney getting the job done last game against Quinnipiac with 12 saves in between the pipes, boasting a 57.1 save percentage. So don't count her out.
Let her Golden Griffins an overtime win against a Quinnipiac Bobcats squad with some high expectations coming in. Haven't really lived up to that, only 1-5 in the conference. But Canisius right now sitting at 4th, top 6 make it to the MAC tournament. This would be a good way to get some separation, move up in the polls a little bit, if you will. As you see there, Rooney getting ready to go from Spencerport, New York. Unsurprisingly, a lot of this Canisius team hailing from the Buffalo, Rochester, greater areas. Some ground not too unfamiliar to head coach Russell Allen. We're about ready to go. Caitlin Salz, junior from Rome, about an hour north of Syracuse, will duel with Chloe Burkhead, freshman from Maryland, on the opening draw. down with Bella DeGracia. And the Red Foxes get the first possession in the final home game of the Marist season.
It's a great way to start off with a nice draw control win, something Marist has struggled with, especially the past few games, but looks like a quick turnover here.
Arnson couldn't reel it in, and Canisius goes the other way. Already mentioned that 10-9 overtime victory they picked up against Quinnipiac over the weekend. Trying to add on to that, currently sitting at 4-2 in MAC play on the year. Sauce from X works it out to the left side. Here's the leading scorer, Statura. Finds Meg Hoffman.
Canisius definitely taking their time, looking to get in their groove early and start off their game with a clean possession.
Smolensky tries to dish inside, struggle to pick it up, and corralled by Juliana Palumbo. No shortage of weapons on the Canisius side of affairs. Statura leading the way with 37 goals. You've got Skylar MacArthur, who has 36, Katie Smolensky, who has 25, and almost as many assists as well.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive to see a team with not one, not two, not three, but 4 players in double-digit goals above 20. Like, you got a lot of offensive threats. It makes it hard to really designate which defenders you're going to send out and which matchups you're going to have.
Caroline Nettie, the 4th of those players north of 20. She has 30 on the nose. Arnson curls up. The shot clock halfway down. A little bit behind DiChiara. Hayes swoops in to get it. Hayes down the alley, fires a shot, and Rooney handles it with ease.
Yeah, not the smartest take there by Delaney Hayes. She had the flag up by the ref. She was fouled, and if she were to withhold that shot, she probably would have gotten an 8-meter free position opportunity.
Ride trying to stay aggressive. Putting a double team against Paige Statura. Bears got lucky that no foul was issued there, because otherwise that would have been number 3 in a green card.
Right, and that's not how you want to start off your quarter, already man down.
Canisius does get through, and the Golden Griffins on the road have the opportunity for the first goal of this contest. Smolensky brings it behind to Sauce. Alexandra Pound, a senior. Pass goes behind Sauce. There's the second turnover of this contest for Canisius.
Yeah, it seems both teams are having a little bit of butterfingers today. Maybe getting out the beginning of the game jitters.
Certainly perfect conditions. Good temperatures. No nasty weather in the area, which has certainly been a problem at times this year. Trotta gets pressed out to the 12.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Kelly Trotta operating up at the front of at the top of the 8. She normally hangs out in that lefty crease position, but I suspect with Gutenberger being out, she's going to try to spread herself out on the 8-meter, take on more of an expansive role.
Cameron Maruka drew a foul as she got in close. She'll get a free position at her first career goal in that game against Monmouth. Can't quite take it, her shot cut off. And another young player, Alana Tavares, there to back it up. Brings it a little too far for Arnson. Maruka's there.
See a lot of fresh faces on this Marist offense. Cameron Maruka, she's a sophomore, and Alana Tavares, a a freshman that's coming off a really hot performance last weekend, scoring 2 goals against Monmouth.
Down the alley comes Hayes. Her shot bounces wide. Bars takes it back in with 14 to shoot. Up to the right wing. Looks for DiChiara. Battle near the crease. And Rudy comes up with it in the big spoon. More than 5 minutes down, still no goals in this midweek matinee.
Really taking their time here with this Canisius defense. And it might have a fast break opportunity here for Marist with the failed clear.
Tavares loses it right back. Canisius cleans it up. Almost a saving grace because Golden Griffins were running in danger of running out of time to clear. Massive cross check.
Yeah, Marist is coming out pretty hot with this ride. They're very aggressive. I'm a little concerned that they might get some fouls early in the game. They got to kind of reel it in, keep composed in their ride.
Yeah, Cam Stoner right there just made the lumber on Jill Galante.
Yeah, you can tell she's not happy with how they ended last game, and she's out here to prove it.
18-9 loss to Monmouth over the weekend for this Marist squad. So here's Canisius again with Stachura. Firing from a hard angle, and she's got it. On the run, she finds the bottom corner, and the Golden Griffins strike first.
Yeah, Canisius has a nice quick move here. Just a little split dodge, just a second of separation, and a nice long-range shot. That's a tough shot to make when you're veering off towards the corner of the 8. But Paige Stachura takes a great shot there to get Canisius on the board.
Up to 38 goals on the year for the junior from Ontario. Another asset of being in Buffalo for this Canisius program. He got easy access to the Great White North. Took more than 6 minutes, but Itali finally on the board.
Got some change-ups in the draw stances by both draw takers here from the first draw.
A hard fire out towards Canisius' side, and for the second time, it's down with DeGracia.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier the draw control is something Marist really struggled with last game, and so far they're coming out like they got something to prove on the circle.
Arnson tries to back down. Draws a call from the officials. So barely even chipped into this possession. Marist will get some space to operate.
Looks like this shot clock was stopped, but game clock was kept running for quite some time, so officials are figuring that out.
Certainly not the first time this has been dealt with here. You alluded to this on the last Red Fox possession. A lot of younger faces getting involved. Experienced player DiChiara tries to skip it home. It goes wide. Tavares on the backup. She's one of those 10 games logged for the freshman. Cam Maruka getting some late run here in 2022.
Oh, and a hard foul on DiChiara. Yeah, at this point in the season with Marist, I expect to see a lot of the underclassmen getting time. They definitely want to go out with a fight with this season, but getting your underclassmen that game-like experience just propels you going into the next year, next season with more confidence, and looks like a false start here on that free position.
Yeah, jumped way too early. Tried to get back into position before it could be noticed, but alas, DiChiara does not get the free chance. And Canisius carries over with an opportunity to double the lead. Smolensky. Back to Sauce. But a pretty clean passer back there at X so far.
I like the space they're giving to Statura up top.
Foul called against Palumbo. Thought she got the bottom of the stick clean. Officials say otherwise. Davis, off a quick dodge, dishes it around. Off a screen, Smolensky. Back to Hoffman. Still plenty of time for the Golden Griffins to operate. A shot fake from MacArthur. Now she drives and scores. 2 goals, both unassisted. And MacArthur gets her 25th goal in the last 7 games. Brings the lead to 2-0.
Yeah, MacArthur does a great job of using her size. That's what this Canisius offense really has going for them. They have a lot of size and power with their drivers. So MacArthur just bullies her way in and has a nice down the alley drive to get Canisius on the board, doubling up 2-0.
Another Ontario native finds the back of the net for Canisius. First Statura, now MacArthur. 2-zip Golden Griffins. About 5.5 to play in the first.
MACSAC is comprised of 11 member institutions.
Each striving to represent the voices of all student athletes.
We serve as liaison between us and administration.
On the campus, conference, and national levels.
Our mascots and colors may be different,
but what brings us together in unity is our mission:
to support student athletes' health and well-being.
To give back to the community through service.
And to help represent the needs of student athletes outside of athletics.
Together, we make an impact.
Together, we are.
Together, we are.
It begins with our mission and values. A culture of innovation and collaboration. Achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom. Turning education and theory into practice. Developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
We are Canisius College. We're a community of achievers, of Fulbright scholars,
Pulitzer Prize winners, champions of the court and of finance.
And if accounting, medicine, and animal behavior are your idea of fun, then Canisius is a serious party school.
Above all, we're men and women for others.
And though we're small enough to know each other's names,
we're powerful enough to set the world on fire.
We are Canisius.
We bleed blue and gold.
We are Griffins, and we are golden.
Just over midway through the first quarter between Marist and Canisius, the Golden Griffins out to a 2-0 lead. Goals from Paige Statura. Right before the break, Skylar MacArthur. Second on the team in goals. Got her first of this contest. And off the foul, Marist now has all 3 draw controls. So no lack of possession so far for the Red Foxes, just haven't found the back of the net.
Right, Marist is having opportunities at cage, but I think they're getting a little too excited to really get on the board, and they're taking shots a little too hurried, a little too rushed.
Another quick shot from Tavares, easily swept aside. Canisius comes up with it. The ride as well, staying strong. But Canisius has had no problem breaking through, and they do again here. Here's Meg Hoffman. Hayes called for the foul.
A little inadvertent contact, knocking the goggles off Hoffman there by Delaney Hayes. And we'll see the first man-up opportunity today of the game.
It'll be a 2-minute. Woman up, a yellow issued to Hayes for contact to the head. $11 woman up goals so far this season for the Canisius attack.
I like how wide Canisius is being with this man-up opportunity. They want to really isolate and find that open lane to Cage, not waste this woman-up opportunity.
On the left wing, still plenty of time. Another foul. This one drawn by Caitlin Sulz, the guilty party, Sherry DeVito. And they're going to give her another card. So this will be 2 women up here for Canisius.
So those open lanes should really be open now. But Caitlin Sulz looks like she's in position to rip this one. I wouldn't be surprised if she pulls it out, though, because this is too good of an opportunity to waste on a power-free position.
Sulz, 5 goals, 9 assists on the season. She seems to be gearing up for it. Looked like it would just be an ordinary foul at the outset, but then they up into a cardable offense. Hoffman to MacArthur. Canisius operating with a fresh shot clock after the yellow to DeVito.
Yeah, with 2 men up, you really want to see quick ball movement, especially finding that backside open player, because that's who Marist's defense is going to leave open most.
And a break for Marist as an offensive foul called against the Golden Griffins. Red Foxes on the attacking end of the field, still 2 women down.
Oh, what a beautiful check there by Canisius. They're really coming out hot. They have the manpower to do it right now, being 2 man up.
Hayes should be released any second now. Camaruca. Darts out of the range of a defender.
So far, Marist is doing a pretty good job handling this heavy pressure. You'd expect them to trust the ball in the hands of their upperclassmen, but they're sharing it between the sophomores, Hannah Spies and Cameron Maruka. It looks like a little bit of bobble there.
Tavares tracks it down. Hayes is now free from her yellow card. Marist still 1 woman down, but with the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a shot off. The card won't be released in time for them to be full strength with this offensive possession.
Ten seconds to shoot. Trotta gets inside the arc and sticks it. And the deficit, while still woman down, is cut in half.
That's got to fire up your offense to be able to score from man down. Kelly Trotta doing a great job this whole possession of handling the high pressure of the man down and just really letting it rip, using that size, using that power to torque on her shot and have a nice long-range shot to Cage. Beautiful shot placement there by Kelly Trotta.
Just the 3rd woman down goal of the year for the Red Foxes. And after a few possessions where, you know, the good shot opportunities really weren't coming, or they just didn't take the time to allow them to develop, that time it does, and Marist slices the deficit to 2, or rather to 1.
And Canisius comes up with its first draw control of the game off the restraining line.
Could be the last possession of the quarter for Canisius. Off the first draw, controlled by this Golden Griffins squad. Hoffman tries to break through the middle, taken away, but got bumped. Cam Stoner thought she had the chance to streak ahead. Instead, it stays Canisius ball. Something tells me the officials are going to need to operate some clock, as the game clock seems to have run over a few seconds. Well, now they're just correcting position. And they play on. This time the game clock overrun going unnoticed. Wasn't super significant. About 5 seconds. Stachura draws a double, tries to dish it inside. It's knocked down and swept away. Marist picks it up right near the end line. That's Sophia Georgopoulos.
Yeah, Sophia Georgopoulos, a freshman out of Maryland. She's been doing a great job for this Marist defense. Other than this turnover right here. She's really a gritty player, always does what Coach asks her to do, and just always down to be whatever you need, Coach.
And so the Golden Griffins will get the last crack. 10 left to go in this opening quarter. Dish inside, shot, denied. Point blank. Down to 4. Pass across, Hoffman skips it wide, and that ends the quarter.
That's a great defensive stand to end the quarter on for Marist. Nice doorstep save by Miranda Lopes. That's got to fuel you going forward into the second quarter.
The sophomore gets her first career save at the college level. And Marist with the final goal of the quarter, coming from Kelly Trotta, has got the deficit to 2-1 with still 45 to play.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
It shouldn't take a storm of biblical proportions to find out who you can count on. It shouldn't take a 4-foot diameter oak tree in your kitchen to find out who you can trust. It shouldn't take the worst to bring out our best, but sometimes it does. And that's the silver lining.
Marist trails 2-1 against Canisius in the Red Foxes' final home game of 2022. Not the season that Jessica Wilkinson was quite expecting, but still trying to get something done here in the final stretch of the season. 12th year as the head coach, 3-time MAC Coach of the Year. Different situation, though, for Russell Allen, who has really helped turn this program around pretty quickly. A bit of a down spell for the Golden Griffins last year, and in his first year, Golden Griffins sitting 9-4, 4-2 in conference play as we open the second quarter, and the draw comes down clean with the controller, Chloe Burkett. Of note between the quarters, Gabrielle Orlando has replaced Miranda Lopes between the pipes for Marist. Alana Tavares. Pressed at the fan by Malvaso. Off-target pass. DiGhiara couldn't hit Trotta clean. And Canisius gets it back. Turnovers have been an early issue in this contest. That's now 6 for Marist. Canisius doesn't have clean hands in that department either, though. They've got 5. Turnover in neutral field. Almost a wide open chance for DiChiara, but couldn't reel in the stretch pass.
That could have been a real nice fast break opportunity. Marist really has to clean up the stick work, because they're having these opportunities. They're having these chances to go to cage. They're not finishing their feeds. They have to clean up the little things, and that'll lead to big time success. So we'll see how they clean it up later in this quarter.
The lone Marist goal came from Kelly Trotta. The 2 Canisius goals, courtesy of Paige Stachura and Skylar MacArthur, the 2 leading goal getters on this Golden Griffins squad. Skylar MacArthur leaves a goal line extended. Smolenski. Inside dish, behind the back shot, that goes wide. Trying to get a little fancy with it.
I like the creativity there by Canisius. It shows a lot from your attack when you have players willing to throw shots like that. You're creative, you're taking chances, you're confident.
Stachura, a couple dodges, ball pried loose. But a foul keeps it on this side of the field. Shot clock running low. Continuing to go down at 5. It's loose and picked up by Boucher.
About time we heard Boucher's name. She's a really good nitty-gritty in between the 30s type of player. But I suspect with Kerry Gutenberger being out on this Marist offense, she's going to have to step up big time too.
DiChiara trying to make amends for a couple of close opportunities that haven't gone Marist's way. Goes low and ties the game.
Oh, I love this little 2-man here between Hannah Spees and Alex DiChiara. It's a very uncharacteristic shot we see from Alex DiChiara, who tends to shoot much more overhand. A great head-up feed and a nice low rip. Just catches the goalie off guard. I love that creativity there between the 2 Marist offensive players.
Number 8 and number 9 teaming up for DiChiara's 14th goal of the season. Or rather, number 8 and number 7. I should say Hannah Spees getting credit for the assist. Or sorry, number 9 and number 7. Let's try that one more time. Spees, another player on this team, a young one, a sophomore who has really taken on a big role with the squad this season.
Yeah, Hannah Spees, she's done a great job growing as a player. She was one of those in the crop of freshmen last year where Marist didn't really have too much of a season, so it's tough to get your freshman class acclimated to college play in general, but she seemed to be stepping up huge, not just for an underclassman, but just in general for this Marist team. And I love to see the confidence she's growing as an attacker. Canisius coming up here with another draw control.
Golden Griffins have now won 2 of the 5. Brandon Ross, Haley Wagner here with you. If you can bear with our bad math, we appreciate you joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Penoyer works it around. Avery Penoyer, a player who's been out there, hasn't had her name called the whole ton so far today. Dish inside, close range shot, picks the corner. Beats Orlando in the lead, back to 2 for the Golden Griffins. Off the tally, 31st on the year for Caroline Nettie.
Caroline Nettie here, she does a great job of capitalizing on the slip cup opportunity. That's what I like about this Canisius offense. Everyone's moving, everyone's creating opportunities. That off-ball movement is so crucial when it comes to finding these in tight slip cut opportunities, and Caroline Nettie really capitalizes on it for a great goal.
Nettie, a sophomore from Auburn, New York, one of two sophomores from Auburn, New York by that name. Sister Claire also on the team.
A lot of movement on this draw control circle, a lot of contact between the circle players.
Burkhead has had the better day overall, and she wins this one.
Another beautiful self-draw. I love to see it from the underclassmen.
Quick ball movement for the Red Foxes. Here's Trotta, who's already got a goal in this one. Draws a slide. Hangs on and finds DiChiara. Passes in front. And space denied at the top bar. Trotta almost swoops in to pick it back up. Winds up with Rudy. That's 3 saves to just 2 goals allowed for the freshman goalkeeper slash midfielder.
Slash midfielder.
It's one of 2 Canisius players who kind of pull a little bit of double duty. Meg Hoffman is one of the leading players on this attack as Marist takes over. She played 45 minutes in net in their game against Monmouth a couple weeks back. Tavares in transition. Gets the double, finds DiChiara, her shot. Just a little lobber that misses the corner.
I like the aggression Marist is showing here, especially from these underclassmen like Alana Tavares. She hasn't had much experience on the offensive end so far this season, not much output, I should say, but these last few games, she's playing confident, she's playing strong, and that's definitely what you want to see from your underclassmen towards the end of your season.
Trotta just getting beaten back. Draws a foul, keeps it with the Red Foxes. No women ups yet for this Marist team. They had to play woman down. In fact, 2 women down at one point. Managed to fend off one and score while woman down the other. But a deep turnover. Golden Griffins picked it up. Almost intercepted. And Foot collects it off the turf. Check that, Statura. Thus far, a pretty low scoring affair. But Canisius with the slight upper hand.
It seems a little bit of both teams are kind of thinking ahead of the pass. They're thinking before they actually make the catch, and that's what's contributing to these silly unforced turnovers on both ends of the ball. Great defensive stand by Sophia Georgopoulos there.
Gets away to Sarah Kilburn. Finds Tachura, breaks through 2, gets the flag. And despite the shot being stopped, we'll get a free position.
And I'm thinking another card here.
DeGracia, the guilty party, and that's some minor sense of relief. As for a moment, it looked like that could have been charged to one of the players who has already received one. So 3rd woman up. And an early free position chance to Chura, despite being 10 of 12 on the year, doesn't take it.
Yeah, Canisius opting for the smarter play here, trying to set something up and making up for the woman up opportunity they missed out on in the last quarter.
It is a 2-minute woman up. Canisius didn't mind taking time the first time around, but did not pay off. Gilbert swings it to Nettie. Inside pass, fended off. Palumbo closes it out. Ball hits the deck. Canisius had it back for a minute. Now has it clean. And to boot, a free position coming. Caitlin Sauce passed on her earlier opportunity. She's 0 for 3 shooting from the arc this year.
Yeah, she's got the ball on her right now, and she's on that first inside hash. It's a very tough hash to make a shot on. But when you have the man-up opportunity, you really want to move the ball just like she did.
They work it around. Nettie again. Inside, Skipper going low. Save made by Orlando. Canisius had the backup, but the pressure forces it out, and the Red Foxes regain the ball. 6.5 to go in this opening half of play. Despite having to fend off multiple Canisius woman-ups, Marist has kept this close, including with a man-up goal. Here's Trotta. She ties the game up.
And there's Kelly Trotta with that nice sweeping lefty crease roll. She's really stepping up in the absence of Kerry Gutenberger, taking matters into her own hands. This is what she does best. She uses her size, she doesn't mind the contact, and gets her hands free to get this beautiful shot off. Great shot by Kelly Trotta.
MACSAC is comprised of 11 member institutions,
each striving to represent the voices of all student athletes.
We serve as liaison between us and administration.
On the campus, conference, and national levels.
Our mascots and colors may be different,
but what brings us together in unity is our mission.
To support student athletes' health and well-being.
To give back to the community through service.
And to help represent the needs of student athletes outside of athletics.
Together, we make an impact.
Together, we are.
Together, we are.
It begins with our mission and values, a culture of innovation and collaboration, achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom, turning education and theory into practice, developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
We are Canisius College. We're a community of achievers, of Fulbright scholars,
Pulitzer Prize winners, champions of the court and of finance.
And if accounting, medicine, and animal behavior are your idea of fun, then Canisius is a serious party school.
Above all, we're men and women for others.
And though we're small enough to know each other's names,
we're powerful enough to set the world on fire.
We are Canisius.
We bleed blue and gold.
We are Griffins, and we are golden.
Midway through the second quarter, and off the second woman down goal of the game from Kelly Trotta, we are tied at 3. Canisius' squad from Buffalo that runs with a lot of family ties. You got 2 current sets of sisters in Claire and Caroline Nettie, Skylar and Taylor MacArthur. I mean, you look through the list of players currently on the team that follow, in some cases, not only former Canisius players, but some legends. You know, we talked before the game, and you said, that Smolensky last name sounds familiar.
Definitely. I had a little bit of deja vu reading up on the stats here. Smolensky was a great player when I had the opportunity to play Canisius, and it's interesting to see the names still remaining on the roster.
Haley, of course, former Marist player and coach, so she's been through the lot of it. Despite being even on the scoreboard, the Red Foxes have been dominant in the draws to this point, but it becomes a little closer now. A 4-3 advantage as the Golden Griffins take this one. Caroline Nettie, Skylar MacArthur, Paige Stachura. The 3 goal scorers thus far for Canisius. That one forced out. Still loose. Scooped up. Avery Penoyer, sophomore from Manlius, New York, with the scoop, keeping this alive for Canisius.
Canisius looks like they might be setting up an isolation drive here.
Smolensky feeds it inside, and Canisius takes the lead.
One thing about the Canisius offense, they've always had a strong history of really great power shooters from range. And with this series of fake flips we see leading up to this shot here, you see Canisius get her hands free, and they only need a little bit of space to get their hands free to rip right on Cage, and MacArthur does a great job of finding Cage on that one.
Second of the game for MacArthur. She now has the team lead with 38 goals on the season. And her run over the last few games has just been surreal. She hit another level once MAC play began. Had 4 goals in the last game against Quinnipiac, and with her 2 goals today, 26 in the last 7 games, including this one. She could come out of today averaging 4 per throughout the conference slate. And the Golden Griffins have now evened up the draw control total in this matchup, having earned the lead a moment ago, and can pat on to it here. Alexandra Pound swings it out to the wing for Claire Nettie. One of the first works we're seeing of Caroline's sister. Pressure on the arc against Smolensky. Flip back.
Marist really not afraid. Their defenders really aren't afraid to be sending this pressure here, which might chalk up to confidence, but you gotta make sure that you're playing composed and playing clean, because you do have 3 cards so far, so just keep it clean. That's all that you can ask of these defenders.
Swim inside, shot goes high. Backed up with 15 to shoot. Pound with 10.
A lot of space to run.
Finds Davis with 3. Tried to find Hoffman, but the ball goes wild, and the Red Foxes can move down the field and tie it up. Shay Thompson was forced out there, so they keep it with Marist. Hasn't been one real uniform style of attack in this game for Marist. Different ways. Here's Trotta on the run. Denied down low by Rooney.
Yeah, this time Rooney had different plans in store for Trotta's signature crease roll drive.
And Canisius looks to take advantage. Tony Malvaso Flips it to Smolensky, and the Golden Griffins back to work in the offensive end.
Vasso's another one of those names that I remember even from my days playing as a Red Fox. Her and her sisters were always a force to be reckoned with. They were always all over our scouts.
Tony, one of a set of triplets. Marissa, Miranda, all played through last year. Tony decided to return for her grad year. The other two did not. Less than 30 to shoot. Big break free shot above the crossbar. A point blank opportunity wasted as Marist gets the backup. It's Claire Nettie who just couldn't finish.
Yeah, we talked about Canisius having these really great power shooters when they get their hands free, but you also need to capitalize on the space that your defenders are giving you. If you have the lane to cage, take the extra steps that you need and that you're being offered.
Quick curl up. Arnson denied. Forced down. Trotta, the interception. Rudy had the time to get back to net. So no open chance, but they'll actually bring it back for a foul. Shot clock a non-factor at this point. Under a minute to go in the second. Thompson gets the hands free. Shot.
Alana Tavares doing a great job getting that back up. Trying to get one more shot off, and a beautiful low-angle shot by Tavares. Man, this freshman
goal. And we are even at 4.
This freshman has been really stepping up the last few games, wasting no time to get this ball from out of bounds. She knows the shot clock, or game clock rather, is running low, and she takes advantage of the space she's given with this beautiful low-angle shot to top corner. It's an amazing job there by Alana Tavares.
That's not easy, going from right along the crease to the opposite corner.
Definitely, she caught her defender like just a misstep. She thought she was going around the righty crease, and she really capitalized on that. That's very smart lacrosse play in crunch time.
Final 39 seconds of this second quarter. Whoever gets the draw likely gets the final possession of this first half.
Draw so far has been pretty much a toss-up. Both Caitlin Sauce and Chloe Burke have multiple different draw stances, multiple different draw techniques they like to utilize. So it's kind of a chess match of taking a guess at what your opponent's going to be doing based on the body language, and all it takes is a lot of communication and attention to detail to come out on top with that stat category.
Now a 5-4 Canisius advantage in draws as the Golden Griffins go to work with 15 left in the half. Down to 10. Attacking down the middle, a shot gets nowhere, but a foul and a free position chance coming. From a good angle too.
Good angle and a great shooter.
Goes on the attack, but puts it high. Nothing generates off the backup. And after MacArthur's miss, Marist and Canisius go to halftime all square at 4. These teams have gone tit for tat. Alana Tavares with the tying goal, and we're even at 4.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
As you get ready for what's next, you think about what really matters and what it means to be connected to everyone around you, to your community. We want to make the most of these moments, these new memories, together. And custom gear from Custom Ink can help. We've developed new tools to make it easy to create custom products and get them to everyone, whether you're together now or still apart. Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Minutes down in the final home matchup of the season for Marist women's lacrosse. Red Foxes and Golden Griffins of Canisius all locked up at 4 at the halfway point at Tenny Stadium. Looking back at the first half stats, obviously the goals even. Marist with a few more shots. Didn't put as many on goal as you would think given that number. But the turnovers have really been constantly on both sides of things.
Definitely. It seems like both teams are having a little bit of trouble just cleaning up the simple things, the little things, the fundamentals, and it's translating into kind of missed opportunities on the offensive end and those missed shots. I expect to see both teams clean it up in the second half. I'm sure that's a point of emphasis both teams are going to be hearing in the locker room right now, and hopefully more clean lacrosse coming up next. Biggest area for improvement on both sides heading into the second half? I would definitely go back to saying just cleaning up the little plays, the nitty-gritties. It's a very high energy, aggressive game we're seeing. A lot of fouls have been called, a lot of cards and man-up opportunities, and these opportunities have to be capitalized on, but before you can capitalize, you need to have the little fundamentals right. So just catching and throwing, having nice clean passes, definitely a point of emphasis. 30 minutes still left to play. 4 goals per side. We'll look back at two of the big players that helped us get to this point next.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
It's lawn season. Now I need a lawn. Quick, fast way to bring it up to speed, Scott's Turf Builder Rapid Grass. Rapid Grass is a revolutionary mix of seed and fertilizer that will change the way you grow grass.
It grows 2 times faster than seed alone for full green grass in just weeks.
After growing grass this fast, everything else just seems slow. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
Download the Scott's My Lawn app today for your personalized lawn plan.
Tied up at 4 between Marist Red Foxes and Canisius Golden Griffins. Have a couple of offensive standouts coming up next.
It was a very eventful first half of play. Canisius really got the early upper hand in this one. There's no question about it. And the one who probably did the most on that front was Skylar MacArthur. Picked up a pair of goals in the process of getting Canisius initially out to a solid lead.
Yeah, Skylar's doing a great job for this Canisius offense. She commands such respect as an attacker with all this power. She really does a great job getting her hands free and letting it rip. Just such a powerful attacker.
On the other side, Kelly Toronto was the one who stepped up big time for the Red Foxes. Has 2 goals, and both of them came woman down.
Definitely a leader on this Marist offense. Kelly Trotta, too, has such power behind her rips. She's proving to be a really composed player this game, doing what she does best, rolling that lefty crease and letting the ball rip from range. I expect we'll see a lot more of that coming in the second half.
Still 30 minutes left to play in the final women's lacrosse game at Tenny Stadium this season. Marist and Canisius back for the second half next.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
As parents of triplets, we do a lot of things 3 times. So you can imagine my excitement when I heard Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action does 3 things at the same time. Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action kills weeds, prevents crabgrass, and feeds your lawn. All 3 in just one bag. I like that.
Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action. It's lawn season. Let's get to the yard.
Ready to roll for the second half here at Tenny Stadium. Marist and Canisius all locked up at 4 through 30 minutes of play. Alongside former Marist player and coach Haley Wagner, I'm Brandon Ross. Thank you for joining us for this Wednesday matinee. Taking a look at where the conference standings sit heading into this, the final week of the regular season. Marist is already out of the running. They cannot make the conference tournament. For Canisius, they are pretty much locked in. But with a win today and a win this weekend against Fairfield, they could fairly well position themselves, maybe even move up as high as 2 in the conference heading into the tournament.
Yeah, definitely. It's something you have to consider when you're not the first or second seed. You want to get that home field advantage for the quarterfinal playoff game. And doing that by securing these next 2 wins is going to be something definitely on the radar for Canisius.
Again, top 2 seeds get a bye. All the matchups hosted by the higher seed of the matchup. And looking back on how that first half went down, pretty much the same outlook for both sides. Shots for Marist, maybe a few that were a little more errant and rushed at the outset. Roughly the same distribution of scoring. Each team having 1 player with a brace to this point, but other than that, just single goal tallies from other players. Where do you think that the ability to spike up the offense will come from in this second half? We talked about during the halftime break, maybe just cleaning up some of the little things, but what specifically in that realm do you think is going to be the biggest breeding ground for more offense?
Definitely the quick ball movement and having nice, sharp, clean, deliberate passes. We're seeing a lot of passes getting clipped off the stick, going wide, just not connecting, and you really just need to clean it up, play Division I lacrosse, and have clean play in order to execute more complex things like plays and motion offenses and things you want to get to and want to polish up towards the end of your season. And you got to be able to have just nice, clean stick work in order to do so.
For Marist, 2 goals for Kelly Trotta, 1 for Alex DiChiara, and 1 for Alana Tavares. On the Canisius side, 2 for Skylar MacArthur, 1 for Caroline Nettie, 1 for Paige Statura. Some of those assisted, some of them not. You look at that Golden Griffins side, this is a pretty surprising low tally performance on their end. They have consistently been a team that has bracked up the totals. They've only been held under 10 one time this entire season. Where do you think they need to look to generate more?
Again, I think it just comes back to stick work, but you also can't count out the Marist defense. They're coming out really hot, really aggressive, sometimes to a fault with the amount of cards we've seen, but they're not looking to let this season go without making a stand and making a statement on their defensive end.
Second half gets underway as Canisius wins the draw. They have a 6-4 advantage on those opportunities in the circle to gain possession. One player who's been kept out of the scoring entirely, surprisingly to this point, has been Meg Hoffman, number 2 in blue at the bottom of your screen. Ironically enough, being guarded by number 2 in white. That being Shay Thompson. Right now, the goal line extended. It's Smolensky with the ball.
Yeah, Smolensky's been trusted a lot with the ball on the Canisius end. She's very shifty. She's a very quick, agile attacker, and she's being pretty locked up by Sophia Georgopoulos on Marist's defensive end.
Marist, after forcing the turnover, and for not the first time today, they cough it up before clearing across midfield. This is a team that has had its fair share of problems in clearing this year, just 82%. Canisius looks to capitalize. Here's Caroline Nettie. Had a goal in that first half. Davis gets the hands free. Stopped in front by Orlando. Loose ball. Georgopoulos with the initial carry. And the foul keeps it Red Fox's possession.
Yeah, Gabby Orlando coming up with a great save there. Canisius has been kind of utilizing a 2-man off the elbow, trying to see if they can get anything off that and then get a nice down the alley drive. They've gotten a few shots off, but
some high contact against Delaney Hayes as she tried to carry it over, and for the first time today, Marist will get a woman up. Caitlin Sauce.
That was a hard foul on Delaney Hayes there. We talked a lot about stick work and having those clean passes. The man-up opportunities are where you need it most. Those should be surefire goals, at least shots executed on net. So you've got to have that clean stick work to execute your plays. And this would be a great opportunity here to take the lead on Marist end.
And so this will be a woman up for Marist. Came in with the same total of woman up goals this year and trying to bully her way through. Delaney Hayes, who probably could have just as easily been charged with a charge there, will draw the foul instead.
Yeah, you heard that one from up in the press box. That was a hard hit.
Delaney Hayes, who had a goal against Monmouth, will try to get another here. That's if she shoots. Just 1 of 3 on free positions this season. Goes on the attack and fended off at the far post.
Another great stop by Haley Rooney there. It looks like we might see a play orchestrated from up top.
Time winding down on the warming up. And Hayes gets bumped inside yet again.
Another hard hit. And this Canisius team, a lot of their players, they got some size. And Delaney Hayes, she's a very fast, agile midfielder, but she doesn't have the size on her side. So to be hit like that, that's got to take some oomph out of your step.
Russell Allen getting in a few words, the head coach for this Canisius squad. Take two from the free position for Delaney Hayes. Now sits 1 for 4 after her first miss. Straight on again. False start. But it's against Canisius.
There's really nothing more frustrating as a free position shooter to keep having these repeated fouls that send you to the line again and again. You just want to get your shot off.
Dish, shot, goal! Boucher stings it up top, and Marist takes the lead.
That's some awesome creativity taken here by Delaney Hayes off the free position. I said it before, but it was only a matter of time before we heard Mel Boucher getting her name on the stat sheet offensively. She does a great job placing this ball high, making an opportunity off this free position shot. That's what I like to see from the senior captain, Mel Boucher.
Goal number 16 of the season for the senior from Fairfield, Connecticut. And it's a big boost to give the Red Foxes a late lead here. And for Boucher, who could be playing her final game at Tenny Stadium in her college career, it would be great for her and the rest of the Marist seniors to go out with a victory.
Easy draw pickup by Canisius here.
That was 7-4 advantage for the Golden Griffins in the circle. Do you remember what happened in your last college game as a player, whether it was a win or a loss?
I believe it was a home win against Canisius my senior year. Actually, I think it was the last time this Marist program has faced Canisius.
April 3rd, 2019. That was a 19-14 Red Fox victory. And Bella DeGracia just got her second yellow card. So number 10 in white, probably the top defender on the Marist squad. Less than 4 minutes into the second half, is now out for the rest of the game.
That's a huge loss for Marist defense, and that's where we talk about the composure and keeping it clean on defense. It's a high emotion game for both teams. One's coming off a really high thrilling win with Canisius' win over Quinnipiac, and one, the Marist squad, they're looking at the end of their season here. So emotions are high, but you got to keep it in check. You got to keep it clean, especially on the defensive end when cards are being handed out like candy today.
It's the 4th issue to the Red Foxes, but no woman up goals yet for this Canisius attack. Couple of pump fakes. Bumps to Chara. Now inside, behind the back, Sauce skips it wide. Second time a Canisius player's tried that today. Neither's gone through. Diving opportunity, but Hoffman again sails it outside. 25 to shoot.
Canisius looks like they need to be going for more of the simple plays here. Sauce had the space to shoot normal.
Quick stick save, Orlando. Denying the top left corner.
It's It's a great defensive stand here by Marist after losing one of your top defenders to come up with the save, come up with the turnover. It says a lot about the resiliency of the players you leave behind when your top gets sent out on a card.
Fourth save of the contest. Gabrielle Orlando. And Marist doubles up its lead.
And there's a nice goal by Alex DiChiara. Her first goal was complete opposite, going for that underhand rip. And here we see that characteristic overhand shot. It's a great job turning the corner and driving down to cage, finding the bottom right corner, catching Rooney off guard.
There's been a lot of success on that, just that roll up. And then if you get that space through the middle, just attack.
Yeah, a lot of the best players on this Marist offense are the ones that can handle the pressure and take the bumps and bruises that come along with it. It seems to be Marist capitalizing a lot on woman down opportunities on the offensive end.
It's unbelievable. Coming into today, through 14 games in 2022, the team had 2 women up goals total. And through 33 minutes and 49 seconds today, they have 3. 2 from Kelly Trotta and now 1 from Alex DiChiara.
Better late than never, I guess.
Red Foxes thus far winless in conference play. This would be the first. Fantastic opportunity to play some level of spoiler for Canisius, trying to move up the MAC standings and take the victory in the final game at home. DiChiara, who just scored. Trotta finds Arntzen, bounces it in.
Marist looking to go on a little bit of a run here. We've seen a lot of drives so far this game from these Marist attackers, but what we haven't seen is what we just saw here. A nice assisted feed from behind. Kelly Trotta doing a great job, proving she can do it all. Finding Liv Arntzen streaking down the middle for a nice cross crease feed and a beautiful shot placement here by Liv Arntzen.
First goal of the day for Arntzen, up to 16 on the year. Coming as the leading assister, but she can get it done in all sorts of different ways. Kelly Trotta also up to 3 points to lead all scorers, with her first assist of the contest.
Again, here we're seeing these different stances between these 2 draw takers. They've been on the draw, Chloe Burkhead and Caitlin Sauls, all game, but throwing a lot of different techniques, a lot of different deception moves. It's really been a toss-up on the draw here. And Cam Stoner coming up with another.
It's back-to-back victories in the draw control circle for Marist.
Yeah, with Bella DeGracia getting her 2nd card, she's not just a loss for the Marist defense, but she's a staple on the draw control circle as well. So Cam Stoner seems to be looking to fill that void and doing a great job of it so far this quarter.
By the way, to add to the impressiveness of the woman down unit, Bella DeGracia still had not been released when that last goal was scored. So that's 4 woman down goals today alone for Marist. Going from 3 different players. Hayes finds DiChiara, who has one of them. Two total goals on the day. Arntzen fakes, drives, fires, it's saved. Rooney pushes it aside once again. Despite the goal total, has stopped 6 of the 13 she's faced. Boucher spins and another stop.
Just not a lot of heat behind that last shot, but what I do like about Marist offense lately is different players are finding different roles and positions on the field.
Ride continues to stay aggressive for these Red Foxes. Tight battle. Ashley Potter in there fighting among them. All knocked out and a timeout called. Out of halftime, Marist has burst out to a 3-goal lead. 2 more, woman down. 7-4 Red Foxes, their final game at home of 2022.
MACSAC is comprised of 11 member institutions.
Each striving to represent the voices of all student athletes.
We serve as liaison between us and administration.
On the campus, conference, and national levels.
Our mascots and colors may be different,
But what brings us together in unity is our mission.
To support student athletes' health and well-being.
To give back to the community through service.
And help
What's nice
represent the
about
needs of
working at
student
Marist
athletes
too,
outside of athletics.
or rather at
Together,
Yale.
we make an impact.
Together, we are.
Sometimes Nessa
Together,
picks them up.
we are.
Sometimes what?
It begins with our mission and values. A culture of innovation and collaboration. Achieving a global perspective beyond the classroom. Turning education and theory into practice. Developing lifelong interests and connections, and striving to make a difference in our communities. Marist College.
We are Canisius College. We're a community of achievers, of Fulbright scholars,
Pulitzer Prize winners, champions of the court and of finance.
and if accounting, medicine, and animal behavior are your idea of fun, then Canisius is a serious party school.
Above all, we're men and women for others.
And though we're small enough to know each other's names,
We're powerful enough to set the world on fire.
we are Canisius.
We bleed blue and gold.
We are Griffins, and we are golden.
Little under 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. After entering halftime even at 4, Marist and Canisius have some separation. Red Foxes 3 unanswered goals in the first 7 and change of this second half to take advantage. And it's Canisius with the ball and a chance to chip away as we come out of the timeout. Of note, as Canisius is on the attack. If you're just joining us, Bella DeGracia, the top defender for the Red Foxes, has 2 yellow cards. And Stachara quickly makes Marist pay. Her second goal of the game, and the deficit is 2.
Yes, Stachara proves what it means to really take hold of the stick work and how crucial it is to be able to connect on these passes. Sometimes all you need to thread the needle is just a little bit of space, and she does a great job of using that little bit of space to turn and make a quick shot. She has very quick decision-making skills when it comes to her shot placement, and we saw it showcased right there.
The junior has 2 goals on the day now, 39 on the season, a multi-game, or rather a multi-goal streak, now extending to 8 games. And as I was saying about DeGracia with the 2 yellows, she is now out for the rest of the game. And so if you're Marist, the objective has to be win these draws, keep the ball in the attacking end.
Win these draws, but also recognize you're missing one of your best draw control circle players.
A whistle on the draw. For a second, it looked like they might order a do-over. Instead, it will be Canisius.
Yeah, I think they were just allotting some time for Chloe Burkhead to fix her goggles there. They knocked a little bit loose on that high ball.
Looked like Arnson, who was playing along the wings, might have gotten a little over-eager and jumped inside the circle early. Well, the Griffins an opportunity to cut this deficit in half. Hoffman hands it off. Davis gets past Palumbo, skips it. It gets caught up in traffic. Davis rebounds it, but loses it right away again to Orlando. Cameron Stoner, who you could say is now the top defender, with Bella DeGracia off the field for the rest of this contest. A big burst of speed carrying it over, got pushed out, so it stays with Marist.
In her own right, Cam Stoner does a great job in transition for this Marist team. She's got a lot of speed underneath her, and that really fuels you going forward onto the offensive end. Gives you that extra bit of energy to maybe set up a fast break into a slow break.
Up top, dish-offs. Artson fires through a clutter of bodies. It gets to net, but handled by Rooney.
Not the best shot to be taken there. A little bit of confusion. Seemed like just a very hurried possession. You want to keep this lead. You want to extend this lead, so opt for something a little more settled. Get into a play. Don't force unnecessary shots.
There's sometimes an advantage to shooting through traffic. If you can get the lane to shoot, it makes it harder for the goalie to see it, but at the same time, there's not much of a lane, the goalie can sense the 1 or 2 spots you could put it. Katie Smolensky has got a pair of assists in this one. Finds MacArthur. Split dodge. Draws the slide. Smolensky, dish in front, kick save, Orlando.
That was a nice quick shot by Canisius, but Orlando coming up with a clutch kick save there.
Keeps Paige Stachura from getting a hat trick. But Marist coughs it up, going the other way. Strong ride from Canisius as the Golden Griffins move it back into the attacking end.
Yeah, clearing has been something Marist has struggled with, and we talked about Cam Stoner being someone trusted a lot with the ball, but again, Bella DeGracia was another staple in the Marist clear. Always could be looked to run the ball over safely, and with her out, it leaves the question of how to get the ball from your defensive end to the offensive end.
Canisius has at times opted to move fast or take its time. Seeming to do the latter here.
Yeah, they like setting up on these little 2-man games off the elbow to see what the Marist defense will bite on.
Ball lost by MacArthur moving in, but the flag comes up.
What I like about MacArthur, she's got size to her, she's got strength, but she's also really quick on her feet and agile. She can find those little spaces to weave through in the defense, and that's really something cool to see from a bigger attacker.
The seniors 8 for 12 on free position shots this year. Make it 9 of 13. She goes 5-hole, and the deficit is down to 1.
Yeah, we just got done talking about how she's a bigger attacker, but she gets off the line quick here, and that's what you definitely need on this low-angle shot. Just sneaking the ball past in the 5-hole. That's a great shot taken there by MacArthur.
First player today with a hat trick. MacArthur on top of her strong play for this Canisius team. Has international experience representing Team Canada in the U19 World Lax Championship, played on home turf in the Great White North. That squad earning a silver medal.
Looks to be getting Buddy taped up there on the sideline after that last shot. I expect we'll see her sub back in real quick. Chloe Burkhead coming up with another nice clean draw win, but rushes that pass. That's a dangerous pass to make. You don't want to make that pass.
Can Marist hold on through this tight defense that's developing? They cannot. It's coughed up. Lost on the foul, trying to break through midfields.
Yeah, you don't often see charges called in the middle of the 30s. A lot of commotion going on, a lot of high energy, a lot of emotion again. This player's got to calm down, play clean, play composed.
Marist opened this second half with 3 unanswered goals. Now back-to-back for Canisius, plus the chance to tie it up here. Stachura. Already a pair in this one. Smolensky gets the slide, feeds inside. It goes wide of the net. Orlando almost had it, but it peters out of bounds and goes to Marist regardless.
Yeah, that feed was just out of reach on the Canisius attacker, but Smolensky, she's got really great field vision. She's very quick and shifty.
Picked up in transition. Close shot. Just can't sneak through. Would have been a hat trick for DiChiara.
Oh, a nice dodge here by Liv Arnson. Catches the misstep of her defender. Does a great job capitalizing on this slow break opportunity. You'll see her make this face dodge here. Just catches that lateral step of the defender and places that ball beautifully in the top corner.
Second goal of the day for the junior from Manorville, New York. And just when it looked like Marist might surrender the lead entirely, they double it up to 2. On the season, Marist has only averaged about 9.5 goals per game. Close to reaching that mark near the end of the third quarter here.
I think that has a lot to do with other players stepping up and realizing that with Carrie Gutenberger out, there's a void that needs to be filled, and that's not going to come from one person. That's going to come from teamwork and from all over the field, multiple different players. So to see that offensive output really going up despite the loss of Carrie Gutenberger, that's a highlight that Marist likes to see at the end of this season.
Another draw control victory for the Red Foxes. Hayes picks it up. And if they want to, can run the clock almost all the way down. Not entirely. But the Red Foxes with a 2-goal cushion. Thompson. Goes to work with space.
Marist operating here in a motion offense, trying to see what they can get from their defenders, but again, another unforced turnover. That's not what you need to end the quarter. Hopefully they can clean it up in this ride to end on a good note here.
Both sides with now 12 turnovers. Just shy of the first 3 quarters. Unforced error on the other side.
And another on Marist to bring it right back.
It's a TO party and everybody's invited. 20 seconds to go. Stachura. Thompson knocks it loose. 10 seconds in the corner. Boucher leaps to get it. Little strong for Arnson, and Marist will not get a last-second shot away. But it does head into the break before the fourth quarter. Up 2 goals against Canisius. Red Foxes had 3 unanswered to start the quarter, 2 back for Canisius. Bears tacks on 1 more. 8-6 with 15 to play.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
When 140-mile-per-hour winds come out of nowhere and try to wipe you off the map. When you look up and see sky where your roof used to be. When the power is out and stays out for 7 or 8 or 10 days. When the phone lines are down and the cell phones have all gone dead, you find out who your friends are. Because the worst
all-time meeting between Marist and Canisius. Red Foxes ahead in the all-time slate 17-13. Last time they played was when the woman alongside me, Haley Wagner, was still on the field playing. Marist taking that one 19-14. Along with Haley, I'm Brandon Ross. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon in Poughkeepsie. Right now the score 8-6 in favor of the Red Foxes. And you know, we talked about this a little bit during the break. Marist is without its top scorer, Karen Gutenberger. She's been hurt. Belle DeGracia, less than 4 minutes into the third quarter, drawing her second yellow and being eliminated for the rest of the game. How have the Red Foxes still managed to get the lead and hang on to it?
You know, I think it kind of comes down to having a little bit of a blessing in disguise mentality. You obviously don't want your best players off the field, but in their absence, you realize that everyone has a job to do and everyone has the capability to step up and do that job. And it will take everyone to do that job to be as successful as Marist is today. Finding success from all different players, that's what gives you confidence going forward. You're not just a one-man team. You're not just a two-man team. There's 12 players on the field and plenty more on the bench for a reason. So seeing a lot of different players step up is something cool to see today.
Another one that has is Chloe Burkhead, the freshman on the draw controls, wins yet another for the Red Foxes. Canisius had taken a lead in that category late in the second quarter, but the Red Foxes getting a lot stronger in the circle in the final few minutes of the third. Here's Arnson. Chased by 2 all the way out to the alley. Across to Spiess. 5 goal scorers for Marist today. She has a point, but isn't one of them. On the run, Thompson sails it wide. Still plenty of time for Marist to shoot.
I like the sharing of the ball we're seeing here by Marist. Getting a lot of different touches by a lot of different players, a lot of different takes by a lot of different players. And we'll see another hard foul on Delaney Hayes. She's been drawing a lot of those near the top of the 8.
A bit of a cross-check there between the arc and the fan. This was a 4-4 game at halftime and still being played close. Kelly Trotta.
Oh, right
off the post. She's got 3 points, 2 goals, looking for a third, couldn't get it there. And Canisius comes up with the ground ball.
And this time we'll see a card on Alex DiChiara, an attacker.
That's the 5th different yellow card issued against the Red Foxes today. Somehow none of them have turned into goals on the other end.
And yet somehow they've turned into quite a few goals for Marist on the other side, being man down.
How about 4 women up on the Marist side of affairs? Both of Kelly Trotta's goals came moving up. Of note, DiChiara's card here is non-releasable. So Canisius can get a goal and the woman up would continue. Satura from the edge of the arc skips it through. She's got a hat trick, up to 40 on the season, and the deficit back down to 1.
Yeah, another player on this Canisius offense. Satura, you don't want to give her room to get her hands free. All she needs is a little bit of space to get such power behind that overhand rip, and she drives it home right from, honestly, the top of the 8.
Continuing to pile on. One of a number of top options on this Canisius offense. Took a while for her to get cooking today, but it's the second Golden Griffin with a hat trick after Skylar MacArthur. Almost near the sideline, but chased down by Riley Davis.
And if you're Canisius here with this non-releasable card, you want to generate as many shots as possible, as many good shots as possible at that, but really take advantage of the man-up opportunities you're given, like they haven't done so far this game.
Hoffman. Slide on the wing, up to Davis. Drives through the middle. And shooting space called before the shot.
Yeah, even with the foul call, that was a great save there by Orlando. If that would have gone in, it would have been simultaneous and the goal would have counted. So finishing out that defensive play was big. Just like this save here by Orlando. Nice save down low.
Davis now 0 for 6 on free positions this season. And Canisius denied the chance to tie this game up. They got their first woman up goal of the game from Statura just a moment ago, and they're still on the woman up. DiChiara still serving out the penalty. Attacking down the right side, Orlando a save.
Another big time save by Orlando. She's doing well saving those low shots, especially from range. And again, with a non-releasable card, that's a big time save.
Denied MacArthur, who was trying for her 4th. Marist hangs on to this one. DiChiara now released. It's a game that's been plentifully aggressive for both sides on the ride. It's created a lot of turnovers. Hayes spins, gets free, but can't sneak the shot through. What a stop by Rooney.
Yeah, Haley Rooney answers with a save of her own. That was actually a nice, powerful rip Delaney Hayes had up there. She's a natural righty, but she ripped that one lefty from the top with some heat on it. But Haley Rooney coming up with a big-time save.
Ambidexterity, oh so important in the game of lacrosse.
And if we have that right, that's her 10th save. So having 2 double-digit save games in your first career games as goalie, that's pretty impressive.
And Canisius has been without Shannon Maroney these last couple of games. The typical starting goalkeeper. Another breakthrough, point blank, ball knocked out. Marist has possession and gets the foul.
Sophia Georgopoulos doing a great job as a freshman. She's one of those players that she was already a leader on the defense, even as an underclassman, but now in the absence of Bella DeGracia, she's stepping up big time. She's handling the pressure. She's holding her defenders honest, her attackers honest, rather.
Timeout taken on the field. Marist on the offensive end, clinging on to a slim 8-7 lead. Paige Statura for Canisius got a goal on the woman up to chip away at it. And the Red Foxes looking to close out a win in their final home game of 2022.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy. Any year, any condition.
Oh, I get it. So you can take your old phone that you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of and trade it in for something new that suits your life now?
That's right, yeah.
Then enjoy immediate success, even though you'll never forget your old phone, ever.
It's a great trade.
Life-changing.
Get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 with any Galaxy trade-in. Any year, any condition. Only at AT&T.
As you get ready for what's next, you think about what really matters and what it means to be connected to everyone around you, to your community. We want to make the most of these moments, these new memories, together. And custom gear from Custom Ink can help. We've developed new tools to make it easy to create custom products and get them to everyone, whether you're together now or still apart. Custom Ink has hundreds of products to help you feel connected. Upload your logo or start your design today at customink.com.
Heading down the home stretch of the Marist home finale for 2022, the Red Foxes clinging on to a 1-goal lead against the visiting Canisius Golden Griffins. 8-7 the score, 9:23 to play. Marist with the ball in the attacking end. Alongside Haley Wagner, Brandon Ross. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and if you've been tuning in throughout the season, we thank you for listening throughout the course of the 2022 spring. It's been a well-distributed game. 5 different goal scorers for Marist. Kelly Trotta leading the way with 3 points. Here's Trotta, off a screen from DiChiara. Gets the hands free and skips it home. Kelly Trotta, back-to-back hat tricks. And the lead grows to 2 for Marist.
Yeah, just like we talked about Canisius, you don't want to give their hands the opportunity to be free. You don't want to give Kelly Trotta room with her left. She does a great job here, again, exposing this crease drive, wrapping around and shooting from range. That's what she's best at, and that's what you can't give up if you're a defender for Canisius.
It's really been a breakout stretch for Trotta. Had a career-high 5 points with a hat trick plus a pair of assists in that last game against Monmouth. And, a multi-goal streak. Then starting to get some attention as well. That's up to 6 games with multiple goals. And I said back-to-back hat trick. She actually has 3 in a row.
Back-to-back-to-back.
Get a few more, start stacking some bellies together. This draw control goes to Canisius.
Some confusion here. There was some contact. Delaney Hayes ended up on the ground, but looks like Paige Turturro's stick bent backwards and broken in the middle of the play.
Sticks breaking doesn't happen often, and it's one thing to happen in the men's game. The women's game, seeing sticks breaking is, let's just say, less than typical.
Less than typical and not fun when it happens to you. I once played against a team and a defender's stick broke on contact, and she continued playing with 2 pieces in her hand, and there was a risk for stabbing there, I think.
What if you just dropped the stick and just started playing basketball-style defense?
Hey, there's a reason why some of the best defenders in lacrosse have basketball backgrounds, so not a bad option.
So Marist will end up with the ball after all of that.
Marist with a slight lead in draw control stat here. It's proving to be really crucial in a tight game like this. Just shows how important the draw control is and how it can change the momentum of a game.
Arnson trying to back down. Foot knocks the ball loose, and it's picked up by Penoyer. Takeaway for Canisius as the Golden Griffins look to make this game a little more competitive once again. A timeout called by the Golden Griffins and Russell Allen. You know, you look back through this season for Marist. 2-12 is obviously not where Jessica Wilkinson was expecting this squad to be. Coming off a decently competitive year in 2021, a program that has consistently fought for top spots in the MAC. You're disappointed at the overall outcome, but given what you're seeing from some of the younger players, do you at least have some confidence going into next year, or are there bigger focuses on things to improve on?
Right. The freshman class, the underclassmen on this Marist squad, they really didn't get the chance with the past 2 seasons being heavily impacted by COVID. They really didn't get the chance to be acclimated to the college game. So to see in this later half of the season some of these underclassmen really stepping up, it's a promising sign. Obviously, no program wants to be 2-12 on the season with no shot at playoffs, but to draw some positive out of the situation they're in, they're seeing a lot of different contributors from underclassmen, which just shows the potential for growth going forward in the next rebuilding years of the program.
And for Canisius, obviously a strong start to the season, or rather a strong season overall since we're hitting the back stretch. 9-4 overall, 4-2 record. Haley Rooney listed as a midfielder/goalkeeper. Well, the reason that is before the last couple of games here, the only time she had played goalkeeper in her entire lacrosse career was 1 game as a sophomore in high school.
That's really impressive to hear. That's such a surprising stat, but it just probably goes back to the kind of character she has as a player, that she's willing to fill the need of her team in any capacity possible. If your coach says, hey, listen, you're a midi, but I need you to play goal, and you step between the pipes and have 2 double-digit save games, that says a lot about the selflessness of that player.
Hoffman flips it inside. Stachara can't find goal. Hoffman's another player who is primarily a field player that played 45 minutes in goal against Monmouth. MacArthur draws the slide, flips it behind her. Down to 20 to shoot. Hoffman, Stachura.
Some great contact here by Cam Stoner with an awesome forced turnover. She's really stepping up. She's always been a leader on the Marist defense this season, but especially in the absence of Bella DeGracia, she's proven what it means to be a leader in times of trial.
Jars it loose against the face dodge, and here are the Red Foxes, who slowed things down after a quick transition.
Delaney Hayes with appears to be all the room in the world to make a move on her defender. Instead, opting to give it up to Kelly Trotta.
Trotta's already got herself a hat trick. DiChiara. Little behind Boucher. Arnson collects it.
Smart move by Kelly Trotta to pull out there.
Trotta from X this time. Gets to the middle. And draws a foul.
Good restraint there by Trotta. She saw the flag was up. She could have redrove and took a shot, but instead opting for a great hash opportunity for a lefty shooter.
So free position chance for Trotta. She's got 4 goals. That ties a career high, and the Marist lead is 3.
Kelly Trotta proven she's not just a power shooter, she does a great job here initially driving more to the right to afford more space for her lefty hand. She's not the quickest off the line, but by doing that, you give yourself more space on your dominant side to get a better shot off. So that's a great execution on the 8-meter by Kelly Trotta.
And one game after setting a new career high with 5 points, she has tied it the following game. 4 goals plus the helper. And she is quickly emerging on this Marist squad as the number 2 goal getter behind Gutenberger. Gary Gutenberger got banged up in that Niagara game. Did not play against Monmouth over the weekend, nor today. Loud crowd developing here late in the 4th quarter, maybe getting a little too overeager. Maybe that chance better due a few minutes from now if this margin holds.
5 minutes and 39 seconds is a lot of time, so don't want to speak too soon.
You realize we've just been put in a loop to be played back if Canisius comes back, right? It's been a very physical game off the draws. A lot of fouls and whistles blown. This time it goes in the Golden Griffins' favor. These two teams enter at halftime, tied at 4. There's with the upper hand so far in this second half. Palumbo almost picks up a turnover. Whistle blown, it stays with Canisius. Gonna correct the shot clock here, it looks like. They're gonna take 3 seconds off of it. Games are won in the margins. A few seconds could be important. But Canisius looks to be trying to work quick. No lead for MacArthur, so she gives it to Sauce. Caitlin Sauce.
That's great defense there by Delaney Hayes. But just shows a little too early and draws a shooting space foul, so we'll see a free position here for Canisius.
Riley Davis, 0 for 1 today on free position, 0 for 6 on the season for the sophomore. Grip, rip, go! It's a 2-goal game.
And there's another one of those power shots that's so characteristic of this Canisius program. Hides the ball behind her head, winds it up, and just lets it rip with a nice crow hop. It's a very tough shot for a goalie to save, rather, when you're winding that ball up and have it kind of hidden behind your head. You don't know where you're going to place the ball. So it's great shot execution off the 8-meter opportunity for Canisius.
Davis, an All-MAC rookie teamer from a year ago, has now matched her first-year total of 19 goals. Took a little longer this time around. 14 games as opposed to 10 last year.
Oh, that's a great draw control there by MacArthur. She's got a great one-hand handle for these draw controls. You know, that affords you an extra maybe 6-7 inches of reach. It's a great skill set to have in your toolbox.
Sauce again. Under 4 minutes to play. Canisius with the ball in the deficit down to 2. Caroline Nettie working against DeVito. Pass inside goes wide. Chase down towards the sideline. Davis, who just got the free position goal, picks it up again. 30 to shoot. Davis makes it a 1-goal game. Back-to-back for the sophomore. And this game has gotten interesting with 3:10 to go.
It's great heads up there by Caitlin Sauls. She finds the streaking cut from Davis, and that's just a nice shot placed high, giving Canisius some momentum, trying to cut this lead and tie it up.
Well, the fans in the front row are certainly holding their tongues down. In the span of just 2 minutes, Riley Davis with back-to-back goals has put Marist on its heels.
We have another change up in the draw control stance here by Caitlin Sauls. She's in this lefty crank position. And so far, when she's in that position, she's really trying to drive it back towards a restraining line.
It's been the same 2 all game. And this one picked up by Stachura. With less than 3 minutes to play, Canisius can tie this up for the first time since 4-4. Georgopoulos knocks it down, picked back up, shot on the run, hits off the crossbar. Smolensky just couldn't deliver, and Marist picks up the ground ball.
This is going to be a huge possession for Marist going forward. If they want to hold their lead and extend it, they got to be composed here. They got to have nice, crisp stick work and really make this chance count.
Tavares, who has a goal in this one, works it to the alley for Spies. Now with Trotta, pacing all scores with 4 goals, tying a career high. Thompson draws the slide. Pass to Trotta, knocked down and picked up. Strong play from Jill Galante. First with the back down, then the ground ball. Golden Griffins in the attacking third, and they call a timeout. How about that turn of events? Both in the last few minutes. And right when it looked what Marist was settling in. A pass that looked like it was headed pretty crisp for Trotta, but a good lead from Galante to knock it down.
Yeah, it just speaks to the fact that you can't be comfortable in any situation. You have to have clean play at all times. Shea Thompson here looks like she's going to take a drive, but can't quite handle this bump to get a good pass off to Trotta. And she just gets beat out to this ground ball. I expect Canisius in their huddle right now to be coming up with a play of some sort to really get a nice, solid opportunity and take the cage. They don't have a lot of time left, and if they're going to look to tie the game up or even win it, they got to get a nice, solid opportunity off. And Marist, on the other hand, I expect they're, like, again, emphasizing being composed, not making stupid fouls, and just having that strong character of defense to to really make a crucial stop here.
Marist already short its top defender after Bella DeGracia took her second yellow barely over 3 minutes into the third quarter. Now has to fend off a Canisius team on a hot run offensively. Pair of goals from Riley Davis in the last 4 minutes. And an opportunity to level this game for the first time since 4-4, the score from halftime. Red Foxes had a 3-goal unanswered run to open up the second half. Canisius got 2 back. The Marist pushed the lead to 3, and it looked pretty good. Less than 6 minutes to go, but a late push here from Canisius has made things interesting. Under 90 seconds to play. MacArthur speeds past DeVito, dives, and scores! We are tied!
Canisius making a smart decision here to put the ball in the hands of one of their best drivers and giving her a lot of space to run. MacArthur just weaves her way through, not caring about the contact and swing she's facing, and does a great job of putting that one home.
4th goal of the day for the senior Skylar MacArthur. She's up to 40 on the season. That's where her and Paige Statura both sit on the season total. And with 1:19 to go, this game is even. And the men's soccer team in the front row that had been chanting, "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye." Well, the Golden Griffins aren't leaving yet.
Big time draw control here. They're always huge, but this one especially could determine who gets the last possession. And it looks like the first alternate possession draw control is going to go Canisius's way.
MacArthur picks it up. Golden Griffins can milk it down for the final shot, should they choose to. Game clock under the shot clock by about 15 seconds.
Have your best drivers up top. Canisius probably looking to isolate them for another drive like we just saw from MacArthur.
Davis has had 2 goals in these final 6 minutes. 30 seconds to play.
Sophia Georgopoulos giving her hell down low. And again, we see a drive from MacArthur up top, but a foul. Looks like we'll get a free position opportunity. And a big one at that.
They didn't stop the game clock. With 3. Inside, save Orlando, and we are going to overtime.
Huge time stop there by Orlando to fuel this overtime going forward. Canisius really seem to like these overtime games so far in the latter half of this season.
Clutch save from Orlando, but a late run from Canisius sends this game to extra time.
So, people can get a free Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade in a Galaxy.
Overtime lacrosse here at Poughkeepsie on a Wednesday afternoon. Marist Marist 10, Canisius 10. It looked like the Golden Griffins, as the clock was winding down the fourth quarter, were going to get a strong last opportunity, but the clock never stopped. They were forced to rush that last chance in the end of the fourth quarter. It kept running. It probably should have stopped, but alas, it kept running down. They had to rush it. A good shot off nonetheless.
Yeah, big time save with a powerful shooter like MacArthur. Having that clock wind down at an inopportune time, it's really unfortunate for Canisius' sake, but Gabby Orlando coming up with a big time save to breathe some life into this Marist game in this overtime scenario.
The Red Foxes and Golden Griffins heading to overtime here. Marist into an overtime game for the first time this season. Here are the rules: 4-minute periods until a team scores. If we need more than one, there will be 2-minute intermissions in between the frames. Each side gets 1 timeout per overtime. For Marist, this is the first time playing in overtime this season. Canisius had this just on Saturday, and they won 10-9 against Quinnipiac back at home.
Yeah, it's a crucial thing to have overtime experience, and Canisius coming off their win against Quinnipiac this past weekend. It gives you confidence to operate with composure in this crunch time scenario where your next possession could be your last, and you need to have that composure to get a surefire shot off, because it is sudden death victory. And that also speaks to the importance of this draw control going forward. Every draw control is important, but this one more so than ever could dictate who gets the final shot on cage. So you got to come out all guns a-blazing to get this ball for your team.
Still waiting for overtime to get started. And let's talk for a second about what Russell Allen, the first-year head coach, has done with this Canisius team. This is a squad that had a lot of strong years, but had hit a slide starting in 2019, 3-15. In 2020, the shortened season, 1-5, 2-8 last spring. They move in a new direction, bring in Russell Allen from Concordia, a D2 in Illinois, who was very familiar with the area. He had played at Medial in Buffalo, had coached there in Buffalo. He's very familiar with the grounds, and he has come in and led them to a 9-4 campaign up to this point.
Right, Canisius, I remember from my days playing, they were a dynasty in the MAC, and once they hit that 2018-2019 season, they did take that dip. But with Russell Allen coming in, you can tell he really changed the culture of his team. He really changed their mindsets, and that's to be done with everyday coaching, but alongside recruiting efforts. It says a lot about him as a coach to come in and turn a program around and put them in the position that they're in today in the MAC standings.
Some last-minute combos as we are about ready to kick off this overtime period. It was 4-4 after 2 quarters. Marist had the lead heading into the fourth. It was a 3-goal margin with 5:39 to play. But the Golden Griffins rattling off 3 late goals in quick succession to send this game to OT. The second straight contest, second time in 4 days. The Golden Griffins have needed extra time to decide a contest. They won the first, can they win the second? Or will Marist pull out the win in its final game of 2022 on home turf? As it's been all game, Burkhead to take the draw for Marist, Sulce for Canisius.
Most crucial draw control of the game coming up here.
Even 11-11.
And that beautiful one-hand grab by Stachura.
It's the Golden Griffins going to work first.
Canisius giving a lot of space to their driver up top. Some hard contact, though, by Juliana Palumbo.
Puts a big check into Claire Nettie. Big drive, big shot, game winner! Skylar MacArthur gets her 5th and takes the game for Canisius on the road in overtime.
MacArthur again proving how strong she is as a driver. You can't let her get her hands free. She will take that shot, she will make it count, and she does today to send Canisius home with a win.
From 3 goals down with less than 6 minutes to play, Canisius crawls their way back to an 11-10 win on the road and spoils the Marist home finale. Taking a look at the final stats from this game in just a moment. A lot done pretty much the same. Same saves, almost the same shots, same amount of turnovers even, some sloppy play on both sides, but in the end, Canisius picked it up when it counted.
Yeah, when stats shake out even like that, it really comes down to the nitty-gritties, the hustle plays, the 50-50 balls, and who's going to come out with the cleaner play. And today that was Canisius over Marist.
Marist wraps up the regular season on the road at Iona on Saturday. Canisius heads to Fairfield on the same day. So for Haley Wagner, Amanda Cascone, and our entire crew here at Poughkeepsie, I'm Brandon Ross saying so long from Tenny Stadium. For the final time, Canisius wins 11-10. This has been a production of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference on ESPN.